Hey guys, I wanted to hop on here to make a video answering a question. And the question really comes down to is why would you create a blog if AI is just going to take over? What's the point, right? I'm sure some of you have asked yourselves this. I posted a video yesterday of this AI chat tool or chatbot tool that was different than ChatGPT 4. And I had a message in that video. And one of the messages that I was basically telling people is if you don't get into creating your own blog now, if you don't get started, you're going to regret it in the future. Because when every single new technological advancement happens, there's always a large group of people who profit very, very, very well. And there's an even larger group of people who die off and they don't make any money. And they wish and they regret their chance. They wish they had went back in time and done something about it. Well, I'm going to answer a sentiment. Like I said, on that video, two people commented. The first person who commented was DoCube, and he says, is investing in vlogs even worth it at this point? It's such an outdated information medium. With AI taking over, I see the AI market becoming oversaturated. Not to mention those who are going to, let's see what it says here. Not to mention those who are going to search for a vlog in the future when they can ask for a bot for information. So that's one comment. The next comment was somebody saying here, come on, blogging will be dead soon with generated content from transformers as there will be more and more competitors. People from poor countries who are ready to work 20 times. Okay, so I guess he deleted the comment. I don't know. But basically, he's saying, why go out there and work on a blog when somebody else from a different country could work 20 times harder and basically replace you? And I'm going to answer these two comments because what these two comments, these people who commented, maybe you're not familiar with the way that I do blogging. I don't create general blogs that can be easily be replaced by competitors. In fact, that's the opposite of what I preach. If you look at the title of the YouTube channel, the title of the YouTube channel is called Niche Site Cash Cow Mastery. And this is what I simply have learned. I have a portfolio of over 40 different niche sites, blogs, websites, whatever you want to call them, okay? Each site doesn't talk about general information, general basic information. That's not what we talk about in each blog. Each blog is very, very, very specific to a certain concept, okay? I'll give you a few examples. Let's say you're really, really into cryptocurrency, really into it, okay? Would you write a blog about just cryptocurrency in general? Would you pick one coin and be the master of it and talk about only that one coin? You tell me. Well, based on your comments, you guys are probably thinking general type blogs. Write about all cryptocurrencies. Well, that's exactly how you're going to shoot yourself in the foot. And that's exactly how you do not become an authority. Regardless of how well ChatGPT and these AI tools are going to get better, and regardless of your competitors that will have the free time to do whatever, that does not replace the need for very specific expertise and opinion. Opinion is a key word there, in a very specific niche. That doesn't take it away. I'll give you an example, okay? We look at religion, all right? There's so many different religions out there. But if you go to a sect of a very specific religion, I'll give you an example, Christianity. There's so many different, versions of Christianity. You go to the Coptic people, the Coptic group of people. That's a small people, very small group of people compared to all of Christianity. If somebody had a blog just on being Coptic and what that's like, that's going to generate traffic, regardless of how good ChatGPT gets, regardless of the communities around Christianity and the other blogs that are out there, regardless of any other thing out there. That content is going to get traffic because it's very specific in a particular angle. So what's the conclusion to all this? When you create a blog, you have to be very, very specific in your niche, which once again goes to show that the people who are commenting these things haven't actually created a blog out there. They haven't actually went in and became an expert at what they're doing, but they're talking from afar. And this is the video that I want to make for the majority of people who are listening to this, is that majority of people who commentate on something are not experts on what they're talking about. I can speak about creating niche sites for two reasons. The first reason is because I bought a whole entire corporation, okay? I bought them out that build niche sites. That's what we do. That's what they do, and I bought the whole damn company, okay? That's the first thing, okay? You can go in here and you could build your own website. You could build, there's templates, the whole thing, all right? But what makes you think that I was capable of doing that? Well, it's because I have the niche sites myself. I know the benefit behind that. And what better person to talk about building niche sites than me? I have over 40 as a portfolio. So what I'm trying to say here is that, once again, the loud majority are the extreme minority. And what I mean by that is there's going to be people who are saying the same things over and over, not just on this channel, but any other channel, where they're going to be saying blogging is dead, this is not going to work, etc., etc., etc. But those are people who are the loud majority. That's the majority of the things that are being said. But really, they're not aware of what's actually going on out there. It's just talking. It's just wasting air, literally. And I don't say that to be disrespectful, but I'm saying that to be straight up honest and be very, very clear that there are millions of blogs out there that are generating millions of dollars on a daily basis. If you're a one-man team listening to this, you're probably not going to be able to create a blog that's going to generate millions and millions of visitors, but you don't need that. Once again, you create a niche site, a small site, and that small site is not small based on its traffic or anything like that, but it's small based on the niche. You're not going to talk about a million different things. You're going to talk about very specific things that very specific people have a need for, and then when they come to your website with your expertise, you learn how to monetize that very, very, very specific need. I'll give you a very big example. Let's use the example of steroids. Let's just go ahead and use that. All right. There are coaches out there that teach you how to take steroids properly and show you what to do. And then they actually charge for working through your regimen with them, meaning they tell you your milligrams, your dosage, what you need to do, how you need to get them, etc. They tell you everything, and they monitor it with you. They look at your blood tests. They look at your results, all this kind of stuff. That's not general. That's very, very niche. And because it's very niche, somebody like that gets to charge a huge amount of money. All right? I'll give you another example of a niche site. And I'm probably going to actually make a separate video where I just talk about different categories that just randomly come in my brain for niche sites. But I'll give you a different example, okay? There's a lot of YouTubers who talk about expats. And basically what an expat is if you want to move to a different location, different country, okay? So there's so many expat YouTube channels I could just literally do a basic search on YouTube, and you got people going to Thailand, recommending Thailand, people are recommending Philippines, people are recommending Portugal. The list just go on and on and on. But what if you were some sort of expat expert, okay, you choose one country and you advise a very specific audience on that one country, showing them A through Z what to do. So for example, if you want to be let's just say you moved from United Kingdom to Portugal, okay? Your goal with your little niche site that you're going to develop, and the whole point is you develop more than one, but with your niche site that you develop, okay, you're going to teach people how to go from the United Kingdom to Portugal. You're going to share every step of the way. And if people want to hire you for whatever reason, whether it be for a product, for a course, for a guide of some sort, consulting, you're going to get to charge more than somebody normally would because you are the expert in that region. If we went and did a simple YouTube video, guys, and we did a search, how many people go from the UK to Portugal that do exactly that? And how many people have the desire for that? Let's just say there's 15,000 people a month do searches related to those keywords. Well, then that's your market size. But guess what? That's not small, because if every single one of those people from 15,000 every single new month is a customer, you'd be a millionaire in a matter of a couple months. So what my point is, once again, is it's not about doing what everybody tells you to do. Okay? You have to be very specific with your blogs. You have to be very niche with your blogs. And the more niche you are, that's not going to be replaced just because some technology is getting better and some guy in India is working 20 times harder than you. Okay, that's not the reality. They're not going to be able to answer the same questions that you have. They're not going to be able to talk about the same things you are. Let's say you love knives. Instead of talking about all different kinds of knives, you get very, very specific about one kind of knife. Let's say Damascus steel type knives. You talk about that only. You don't talk about any other thing. And that's what it is. It's about specificity. And there was a quote, I forgot who said it, but they say, in the niches, there are the millions, which basically means that the more niche you are, the very more specific you are, the more demand goes up and the more consumer viability goes up. What is consumer viability? Consumer viability means that how viable is this business? How likely is it that somebody can be a consumer in this business? Once again, the more, for the internet purposes, not just like stores or anything, but for the internet, the more specific you are on something, on something very, very specific, the more you'll be able to charge and make money for it. And once again, you don't need to get tons and tons and tons of clicks on your blogs. You don't, and when I say blogs, I mean your website, your articles, things like that. You don't need to. You don't need to generate thousands and thousands of visits a day. Does it help? Of course, but you don't need that. In fact, I've said this before, but I have blogs that generate, a couple hundred visits a week, but that's not a bad thing because they generate thousands of dollars a month. And the reason why they're able to do that is, like I said, it's very, very specific in a certain topic, in a certain concept, okay? So, no. You don't have a problem. You don't have to worry about being replaced or any kind of crap like that. If you're not, if you're talking about, if you're very specific in what you're talking about, all right, with your articles, with your blogs, etc. All right, and don't listen to the public who really have no experience. To be honest, when it comes down to making money online, a lot of people, and I'm just gonna tell you the truth, right? A lot of people are gonna sit here and say, oh, this is a waste of time, that's a waste of time, this is a waste of time, because they're reflecting on you what their internal beliefs are. And their internal beliefs come from their own personal experiences. They may have tried something, or maybe they just believe. They may not even have tried it. Honestly, most people who complain about something usually have never tried it. They just sit from afar and complain. I remember Tai Lopez, when he created his course, there were like millions and millions of people that called him a scam. But those same people had never bought a single product of his. Never. Not even a single one. Now, I'm not the biggest Tai Lopez fan, but the point here is that most people who talk don't do. They don't experience anything. Most people who complain about building blogs have never built a blog in their life. They'll attempt to do one, but they won't actually cross the line and be successful. And until you cross the line, you be successful, and learn how to generate traffic and make money, you shouldn't be talking on it, with all due respect, because you haven't got to that point. So once again, if you're that person who's thinking on starting, okay, you have to ignore the noise. You really have to, because everybody's going to share their opinion, and their opinion is irrelevant. It doesn't move the needle. I'll give you an example. On my main YouTube channel, last year, I said I'm going to start YouTube automation channels, which are basically these YouTube channels that you don't make any videos on. You hire people to do all the work, and they put these videos together. I have one channel that has over 30K subs, another channel that has over 20K subs, and these were same people in the video kept saying, oh, don't do it. It's a waste of time. You're not going to make any money. It's too crowded. YouTube is so niche. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And it's just excuse after excuse after excuse. At the end of the day, guys, there's only two groups of people in the world, winners and losers. The losers are going to make the excuses. They're going to come up with every reason why they can't. They're just going to keep going and going and going, and they're never going to run out of excuses. And the winners are the ones that don't talk and just do, and they go out there and make it happen. I'm not trying to be a motivational speaker, but I'm trying to be realistic. And if I fought like everybody else when I first started my very first business, I wouldn't have made a dime. All right. I wouldn't have made a penny. I would have cried in my little corner, lived in my closet, and would have been depressed, and probably would have ended up being like a janitor somewhere or doing something like that. But that's not the case. I live a life of complete freedom now because I get to do what I want the way I want. And outside of college, I've never worked for anybody in my life. So when I was in college, yes, I needed some jobs here and there. But outside of that, I was working on my own business. And after I had graduated, I had been able to take care of myself fully without having to work for somebody. And once again, if I had the mentality that the majority of people have, which is a weak failure type mentality, and I hate to say that, but that is the absolute truth, then I would be just like everybody else. And I'm not saying that, all right? So I'm not telling you to do that. I'm telling you to, you guys already know what I said. You could watch the video if you haven't. But I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out. Bye.